Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Nate with Dubs Cards, and I want to try something new on Saturday. I want to call this Set Saturdays. I want to take a set that I have put in a binder. Generally, I guess it's easier than a box to be able to look at and go over. This one I want to start with is a 1987 OPC set. And these OPC sets are only 396 cards. Just for reference, I do have the top set here. We can look for kind of the same cards, not the same cards. By time to time, we'll kind of go back and forth. But a normal top set from the 70s and 80s toward the beginning of the 80s through the 80s and 90s was 792 cards. O-Pee-Chee did 396, so it's dead in half. So the first thing we notice when we open it up is it just starts out with cards, players. On a top set, you'll see it starts with record breakers. So the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards were record breakers. On this set, they didn't do that. They just jumped on in. We've got a Hubie Brooks. There's going to be a lot more Expos cards and a lot more Toronto Blue Jays cards because they were Canadian teams. Toronto still is. Montreal's not. They left the league. But what you'll notice right off the bat is when it picks up with card 8 and 9, which is Terry Pendleton and Jay Tibbs, that's the same cards that are in the tops. So both versions are the same. We can take one out and look at it. What you're going to get is O-Pee-Chee's in the bottom corner, where on tops it's down in the bottom corner says tops. On the back of these cards, it's a little bit brighter, and there's some words that are in French. So you'll see a little bit of a difference right here in the middle. It does say 87 O-Pee-Chee and pretty much made in Canada. The card stock is a little bit thinner. I think it's a little bit better, to be honest. I really like O-Pee-Chee cards. Here is the tops version. So the bottom of the card will say tops. The bottom of the card will say O-Pee-Chee. It's a little bit kind of more shiny, a little bit more brownish. The backs, you can obviously tell when you find a tops card versus an O-Pee-Chee. These are almost like tops traded, how they're bright. I really liked them. I grew up in upstate Vermont, so I actually opened packs of these back in the day. We could just run across the border, grab a couple packs, come on back. So we'll just kind of look at them. We'll see. Dan Quisenberry. We got a Cecil Cooper. On this page, we got a nice Gary Carter. Real nice shaped card. This is a really good shaped set. This is one that I had purchased from Brian in a bunch of those O-Pee-Chee sets, and with the 86 O-Pee-Chee wax boxes I'm going to open soon. The one thing I did like about, and let's turn the page. Let's see if we can get something that resembles something. Okay, so this is a good example. On the 87 top set, you can see that Greg Brock was on the Dodgers. When you look at the O-Pee-Chee, they have him same picture, same uniform, but you'll see now with the Brewers. So his name's in blue, and he's got a Brewers logo on it. So that's really cool. I always like that. What leads me to think of is like the O-Pee-Chee's cards came at the end of the year, more toward the end of the season. So your tops version, your O-Pee-Chee version, same number, same everything, but it's a little different. And we'll get back into it. And then you can see, here's an example too of the Carter is in both sets. There's the top set. It's kind of hard to see, but he's way up there. But look at the guy next to him. This one is a Mark Davis from the Giants. When you look on this O-Pee-Chee set, it's not. It's Tom Pecorek. I don't even know if I should have said that. That guy. So it's a little different, kind of neat. Not all numbers are the same guy. So this one, like I said, you get more Toronto and Montreal. Here's a Toronto player. This one has a Houston Astros player. So Let's get back to it. Let's check it out. Got Tim Raines, Rock Raines, got Andy Van Slyke, Sid Bream, Dave Winfield. Really cool. Got Dennis Leonard, Marty Barrett, Bo Diaz. Pretty neat. Got a Danny Gladden, Wally Backman, Tom Seaver. That's a really cool card. I think this was Seaver's last card. Had a huge career. He was on the Mets, one of my favorite Mets pitchers. Really cool card. We can go skip ahead on our top set real quick. And, oh yeah, there was another thing I wanted to show. So on this set, Tom Seaver is not in the top set in that number. One of the other things I wanted to show, and I skipped by it on the tops, is on the tops, they always had these leader cards, 26 leader cards. These are some of the cards they took out of the OPC. So in OPC, you're not going to see this card. It's not going to exist. As well as the manager cards. OPC went straight players only. There's no all-star cards. It's a thin down set, number-wise. So you got Charlie Hugh. We got Todd Worrell with the cup. That's the same. Wally Joyner, Ron Darling, Robin Yount. So same, lots of great players. Kirby Puckett, Bob Ojeda. Really, really like this set. Brooke Jacoby, he does a lot of TTMs signs. So here's another card. Here's Daryl Motley. It says now with the Braves. So he's got his now with the Braves. So they didn't even change that part. That's odd. And let's look, 99. Let's see if he's on this top set. Like I said, not every card is. Yeah, it was. So I guess even back in the Topps version, they had now with the Braves. So that's pretty neat. I always like that. So let's skip ahead, keep going. Got a Lou Whitaker, Steve Garvey, Ozzie Smith. Really 3 awesome players right there. One page. No all-star cards. There'll be no, I think, yeah, there's checklist cards. They're all at the end. Here's Ken Griffey Sr., Bob Horner. Got George Brett down here. We've got Jim Clancy, Eddie Murray. Really cool set. Mike Easler, great TTMer. Yep, here's one of the checklist cards. So that's number 128. I imagine that's the same on there. Yep, so that one up there. Dwight Gooden, got him in both sets. One of my favorites. I know there's some Mets fans out there that watch. So here's a nice Dwight Gooden, OPC. Really cool, bright card. I mean, these are, I love this for TTM use. And actually, what I'm going to do with this set is it will be TTM. I will be sending a lot of these cards out to get signed. I'm going to see how many I can get for this whole set. Here's Ryan Sandberg. Here's Brett Saberhagen. Herb Willington. Jim Rice. Jesse Orosco. He's one of my favorite TTM guys. Wade Boggs is too. So here's the Boggs. If memory serves me right, that's card 250. 150, I'm sorry. 150. Throw that back in. Nolan Ryan. Check it out. The Nolan. And what I think maybe some people don't know is, if you notice I have this in this sleeve, you could still keep these cards in penny sleeves. They can't be those real wide, thick penny sleeves. They got to be just the normal penny sleeves. Some people like to put their normal cards in the wider ones to not, I guess, ding corners and all that stuff. But they won't fit in these pages. But to protect the card a little bit more, and they actually slide in a lot easier, is you can keep them in the penny sleeves. And I try to do that on some of the nicer cards. Like Nolan Ryan's $75 to send away for an autograph or TTM. I'm not sending that. I'd send like a 70s card or a better card. So just want to keep them in good shape. That'll definitely not be a TTMer. Carlton Fisk, Rick Honeycutt, Jeff Reardon, got him back. So he's on his Expos uniform, says now with the Twins. Really cool. Here's Cecil Fielder. I just wanted to share this with everybody. I don't know if everybody ever gets to really see OPC sets. They were a lot less number-wise produced than Topps. Doesn't make them overwhelmingly a lot more money, but this set compared to this set, I can still pick these up for $15, $20 almost all day long at local card shops, maybe $30 online. These generally are $40 to $50, $60. So they're about double with half the cards. Here's Tony Gwynn, Corey Snyder with the cup. Oh, Pete Rose. There's a nice Pete Rose card. See that one? Charlie Hustle. Pete Rose and Nolan Ryan are two of my favorite top 5 players of all time. I like to collect. This is a great condition card. I like the shine on them. They're almost Topps traded, almost Topps Tiffany sort of sheens to it, but the cards are thinner. If you put 800 cards of these in an 800 card box, you're going to have about that much at the end, that slop, where this one will take the whole box. So we got another checklist card. I love checklist cards. I know most people don't, but I like to TTM them. I want to get 1 or 2 per row. So we got an Ernie Witt, Gary Ward, Joe Carter, Wallace Johnson, great TTMer. Here's a nice Eric Davis card. Steve Bedrock Bedrosian. Oh, this is a great page. So Zane Smith TTMs. Eric Davis is a great player. Frank Tanana TTMs. What a great veteran player here with Don Baylor. Love Donnie Baseball. Steve Bedrock Bedrosian and Wallace Johnson, both TTMers. Good page right there. Excuse me. Here's Steve Balboni. I like sending to him. I've told you in prior videos he's a 1 per. Send 1 at a time to him. He'll send it back. Shaner, I like him because he's at Shaner's Pizza down here in Florida. Send it to the pizza shop. And here's the juice. Here's one of the juicies. I always pick on them. I still like the players. I just like to kind of pick on them a little bit. Number 247, Jose Canseco. Massive offcut. When I bought it, I knew it. Didn't matter. I'm not going to TTM this one. Well, I guess I could. But still, great set. I mean, these are in all great shape. All the edges are nice. The corners are nice. They were notorious of being off-centered, so I'm not. It's not that critical. So 247 should match up. The Canseco's in both, I would think. So it's not number 247. 247 is Jeff Reed, so it's not in the main set. I know it is. We'll have to find the number. Not everything matched up. So it's probably a card past 396 and then in there. So then they took it and put it in the place of another card. So you got Dave Kingman. You got Howard Johnson. Love Howard Johnson. Hojo. ETTMs. I asked him what he thought of Pete Alonso wearing number 20. He said, man, I'm glad that he's wearing it. He said it's an honor to the number 20. So Hojo. Shout out to Hojo. Daryl Evans. Joe Sambito. So they did put the manager in for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Montreal Expos, but that was it. Ray Knight, when we lost him from the Mets to the Orioles. Fernando, Steve Carlton. Great set. I like it. Everybody should kind of get a set of OPC. Excuse me. Lenny Dykstra. Terry Francona. He just become a coach of was it the Reds? Oh, Francona was a player. Decent player. Played on the Expos. And then here's Badger Bob Rogers for the Expos. So we got you only got 2 managers in this set, and it was the 2 Canadians. So here's a Reggie Jackson, Hall of Famer. Terry Kennedy, great TTMer. Cal Ripken, there's the Rip. Very good. Excuse me. Not bad shape. I kept this one in the in the plastic also. A little offset, but hey, what are you going to do? You got Kevin Mitchell. It's pretty cool how they said he's getting traded to the Padres. And here's one of the big juice. This should be card 320. Yeah, 320s in both sets. Same off-centerness, right to left. No big deal. It's not why I bought the set. So basically the cards in the sleeve I won't really be sending out. But that number matches up with the tops. We got a Jack Clark. We got a Danny Tarnable. Andre Thornton. Mark Goose is a good TTMer. Sid Fernandez. Roger the Rocket Clemens. It's a great card. He's in my top 10 most favorite players of all time. Not quite break the top five, but. And it's Andre the Hog Dawson. Awesome card there. That's definitely going to go out for the TTM once I get back to him. I've sent to him twice recently. He's a paid player, so I guess you can send to him as much as you want. Sean Dunston, what a great player he was. Cubs player. Used to watch him growing up. And Keith Hernandez. He's was one of my favorite Mets players. Really good, centered pretty well. Maybe 40-60, but I don't think any of these will get sent out to grade. This was a TTM purchase. That's why I wanted it. So here's a Will Clark. Again, they're all about, the same off-centerness for all the stars, which is fine. What are you going to do? This set's actually in miraculously good shape. I have two other sets of this, both in boxes, both kind of stowed away. But this one was in great shape, and I decided to use this for TTMs. I could have used one of the other ones, but this one I got from Brian off of eBay, so I wanted to do this one, kind of showcase his cards. Here's a Ron Guidry. This will get sent out. Guidry's one at a time. Send one at a time. He'll send it back. Signed. And we're getting toward the end. Looks like they squeezed in a Strawberry, which is great. They squeezed in a Goose Gossage. Dennis Eckersley. Three great players there. Kirk Gibson down at the bottom. And wrapping it up, it looks like we have Mike Schmidt, last card. They just pulled him out of the weeds, I guess. But that's it. That's your 1987 OPC set versus your top set. So if you like this and you think that it's a good series, I may try to do this every Saturday. If you guys in the comments like it, I'll call it Set Saturday. And I may not always have the tops counterpart, or I may not always have an OPC. But there is some more OPC sets that I bought from Brian and I want to showcase. He sold me a 1985, a 1987, a 1989, and a 1990. So this is a smaller 1-inch binder. Seemed to work the best. So I went to Target and bought these. They're nice D-ring ones. I like the D-ring binder, so it's hard to see, but that's square D-ring. It's not perfectly oval. The oval ones are harder to use, but Target had a sale on these, so I bought some new ones. I actually bought 4 of these binders and enough pages to do 4 small sets. I won't be able to do the 1990 OPG in this one. It's a big set, so I'd have to go with the full binder. But I hope by next weekend I can maybe have the 85 top set in here. 85 OPG set, I'm sorry. And do the same, maybe the 1989, one of those. But drop a comment and a like on the video. That's how I can grow the channel. I'd like to get to maybe like 125 or 150 subscribers, do another giveaway. Congratulations to Rich, who won the last one. I'm going to get his stuff sent out to him Monday. So this is Nate with Dubs Cards. Over and out.